this written order is entered, I will enter the order transferring it. And until such time as those two things are decided, then we'll be in recess until that time.
There's been a turn of events in this whole YSL trial. And I'm not just talking about one thing or two things, three things, four things. And we're going to go through some of the history that's gone on over the past few days, because so many things that happened. So we're going to rewind a little bit just so I can give y'all a brief overview of what was going on. So you might remember last week, you had Mr. Weinstein, Yak's attorney. He sent a writ of mandamus to the Georgia Supreme Court, right? And then he was waiting for the Georgia Supreme Court to respond to that and decide if they were going to force Judge Glanville to recuse himself and possibly say that there's a mistrial. All right. And then what happened? Well, we were waiting for the Georgia Supreme Court to respond, waiting. And then they finally responded with this. Now, they sent this on June 27th, which I believe was last Thursday. So they gave Weinstein time to respond, but they basically said, hey, we get what you're trying to say. We understand that you want us to go ahead and rule and get Judge Glanville out of here, but there's a certain process that you have to follow. So you can't just skip the line. You can't pass go, can't collect $200. You have to go through the proper channels. So they said in their denial, if we scroll down, they said, although this court has the power to grant original relief in the nature of mandamus, see this cited here, they has chosen to maintain its general status as an appellate court and to exercise its original jurisdiction only in extremely rare situations where needed has been shown. All right. So basically they said, I'm sorry, we're not going to rule right now. So what you have to do is you have to take this writ of mandamus. You have to go back to the Superior Court. But what we will tell you is Judge Glanville can no longer rule on this. So once you file this with the Superior Court, the recusal needs to be sent to another judge. All right. So that was a win for the defense side of things. Right. So then we go through all of that. We have on Friday, that was June 28th. Then you see that Mr. Weinstein goes ahead and he refiles the writ with the Superior Court. All right. So now the Superior Court has that. He's on top of it. They're already moving along in the process. Then we also saw that a new judge was assigned to the recusal, and that was Judge Belinda. I want to call her Melinda for some reason. Judge Belinda. Well, what happened with Judge Belinda? We talked about in the past video. I said, I hate that they're still allowing Fulton County judges to rule on this recusal and rule on this in general, because they're all going to be biased. And Belinda herself has worked with Judge Glanville for 7+ years. I think we looked at the other day. So that was assigned. This recusal was assigned to her, and she decided she didn't want to do it. She's like, nah, I'm not trying to get involved. I'm going to recuse myself. So check this out. So this is the order of voluntary recusal. All right. The above captioned case is presently before the court on its, I'm not going to read that order because I'm going to mess it up, decision to recuse itself pursuant to Uniform Superior Court Rule 25.7. If a judge either on the motion of one of the parties or the judge's own motion voluntarily disqualifies another judge selected by the procedure set forth in Rule 25.4 above, shall be assigned to hear the matter involved. Therefore, the undersigned judge hereby recuses pursuant to Uniform Superior Court Rule 25.7. So as quickly as Belinda was on this case, they assigned this case, she said, nah, I'm good. And she got up out of there, y'all. And we just talked, this just happened yesterday. All right. This just happened yesterday that we got the news, but she actually signed this late on Monday afternoon. Okay. After we talked about it. So Belinda's up out of there. Now they assign this whole situation to a new judge. Well, who is the new judge? The new judge is Rachel Krause. Now, of course, Rachel, she is still in the Fulton County Court. Doesn't make things look any better, in my opinion, because she still has to judge or make a ruling on her. I don't want to say her superior, just because Judge Glanville is the chief judge, but it's not like she's her boss. But they work together, basically. So anyway, shout out to Thugger Daily for this one, because as soon as Judge Rachel got assigned this case, she already got to work. All right. So he says the new judge in the YSL case, first order. Judge Rachel Krause orders the state to respond to all 3 motions to recuse Judge Glanville by Monday, July 8th. Ooh. Now, y'all know the 4th of July is tomorrow, which means they don't have a lot of time between now or when she made this first order and this coming Monday. So they don't have a lot of time to respond to this, right? So what is she saying here? She says time is of the essence, given that the jury trial is currently paused. Oh, which she gave away. A spoiler alert there. We're going to talk about the trial being paused here in a second. But let's go ahead and see if I can zoom into this. Oh, I forgot Twitter doesn't let you zoom into this. All right, so I'm just going to struggle to read this a little bit because I cannot see. It says in the Superior Court of Fulton County, state of Georgia, order requiring written response to recusal motions. All right. This case is before the court to consider motion to recuse Chief Judge Glanville from further handling of the above captioned case. 2 defendants and counsel for a witness. Specifically, the motions before the court are defendant DeMonte Kendricks, motion to recuse Judge Glanville. Okay, that was filed on June 12th. We talked about that in the past. We've got the defendant Jeffrey Williams, motions to disqualify and recuse Judge Glanville from all further dealings in above referred case. That was on June 17th. Okay, Brian Steele got heated after Judge Glanville tried to hold him in contempt. So that was the second one, right? Now the third one, non-party Kayla Bumpus. Y'all remember this one? Kayla is sick of the judge threatening her, even though she was only supposed to be there one day. So she says Kayla Bumpus is the third one. All right. And her motion to recuse was sent to the court on June 14th. All right. And it says time is of the essence, given that the jury trial is currently paused pending resolution of these renewal motions. Therefore, the court hereby orders the state to file a written response to the pending recusal motions on or before 5 p.m. Monday, July 8th. And that is coming up quick, because I don't know if they're going to take July 5th too, because if they do, that means they're going to have today and Monday to figure out what their response is going to be to this, which is not a lot of time at all. Let's see. Contempt. I cannot read that. With filing, the state shall provide a courtesy copy of any filings by email to the court's litigation manager at this place right here, and it has her email. And this was signed by the new judge, Rachel Krause. Okay, now this isn't the new judge covering the entire YSL case. This is just the judge who is presiding over these recusals, right? Now, with all that being said, what happened? Mr. Weinstein was not done. He said, you know what? That's great, Rachel. I appreciate you finally, moving and finally taking your time to actually get something done when it comes to this case. But you know what? I've been watching those live streams that ClassE Beats has been doing over there, and I agree. I want all of y'all off the case. Nobody in Fulton County should be able to see any of these cases. I don't trust y'all. My guys don't trust y'all. Young Thug doesn't trust you guys. So I want the entirety of Fulton County out of this entire case. So check this out. Now, this was just filed at the end of the day on yesterday. All right. And this is by, again, Yak Gotti. Yak Gotti's lawyer, which is Mr. Weinstein, motion to disqualify Fulton County Superior Court judges with an S from ruling on recusal of Chief Judge Glanville. Okay, so he said, I don't want your co-workers up in here messing with my business. You got to go. The defendant, Mr. DeMonte Kendrick, by and through his undersigned counsel, without waiving any other rights to which he is entitled, files the motion to disqualify Fulton County Superior Court judges from ruling on the recusal of Judge Glanville, stating the following. Following a motion to recuse filed by Kendrick on June 12th, Chief Judge Glanville subsequently entered an order of recusal on July 1st, 2024, which was Monday. Judge Glanville said, all right, I'm out of it. I'm not going to rule on these recusals, right? Then directing that Kendrick's recusal motion, as well as two others, be heard by another judge pursuant to Uniform Superior Court 25.1. Based on the Odyssey system utilized by the clerk of Fulton County, Judge Rachel Krause of Fulton County Superior Court has been assigned to hear Kendrick's recusal motion. But that's not good enough for us. Based on guidance by our Court of Appeals and at least one opinion of the Judicial Qualifications Commission, oh wow, it is inappropriate for any trial court judge to preside in any action wherein one of the parties holds a judicial office on the same or any other court which sits in the same circuit. Here we go. We're back, man. We're back. The Georgia legal system is back. All right. We're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is dope because they're basically saying, y'all got to get this out of Fulton County. It's just not right. And we mentioned this and we talked about it in past live streams, how it just doesn't make sense that Belinda, who has been working with Judge Glanville for nearly a decade, they know each other. They've worked together. And most of them know who Judge Glanville is. And I don't know what his relationship is with Rachel Krause. I didn't do any research and look into that, but I'm sure, I mean, they're in the same county. They've worked together. So Mr. Weinstein saw that. He said, no, I'm not having it. And he's now trying to move for all Fulton County judges to be taken out. Now, again, he knows the process that the Superior Court is going to want him to go through. So he's got some clear steps when it comes to this new motion to recuse, which I think is interesting because who's going to rule on this one? So it's obviously it's going to go to Superior Court and then to the Supreme Court. Wow, this is crazy, but I think this is going to be a big win when it comes to these recusals, and it possibly could be pushing things closer to not only getting Judge Glanville out of there, but to looking into some of the facts behind this case, especially when it comes to the secret meeting and moving towards a mistrial. All right. And then it also says appeals term this a bright line rule. I didn't look. I'll have to look that up and let y'all know what that means. To avoid even the appearance of impropriety, Judge Krause and any other judge within Fulton County should recuse from hearing Kendrick's recusal motion. Wow, he's calling them out, man. Of note, in the company's case of Kendrick v. Glanville, the Honorable Judge Belinda E. Edwards recused herself yesterday, all right, from the petition for writ of mandamus. This was keeping in with the guidance of Georgia. There it goes. Wherefore, Mr. Kendrick respectfully requests that Judge Krause and any other judges within Fulton County recuse themselves from hearing Kendrick's motion on recusal and facilitate such actions as necessary to have the motions heard by a judge outside of Fulton County Superior Court. All right. Again, let's give it up for Mr. Weinstein over there putting in work. I love it. I love it, man. This is what we wanted to see. And this is going to make way more sense to me if they get this recusal outside of Fulton County. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. Now, I do want to play this video for y'all because the case is now on hold. So even before all of this was filed and judges were switched around and Rachel took over and Belinda said she's not going to be on the case, Judge Glanville saw everything was happen. And the day that he recused himself, which was Monday, he said, we just got to put a hold on this case until all of these three recusals are seen through. So we don't know when they're going to be back, unfortunately. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on this. But listen to what he has to say here.
As that, then transitioning to the last matter the court wanted to put on record. Upon further review, this court will in fact enter an order sending Mr. Adams and Steele's, Mr. Weinstein, and Mr. Banks' motion to recuse to another judge pursuant to Uniform Superior Court Rules 25.1
That's
through
right.
25.7 in the method and manner prescribed by our local rules. So this written order is entered. I will enter the order transferring it. And until such time as those two things are decided, then we'll be in recess until that time. And we will just inform our jurors that they're content until this is.
Don't cry, Glanville.
Until Monday anyway. So I will have Deputy Ingram and Ms. Umana indicate to them that they are still on recess and we're continuing to work.
All right, there it is. So it's looking like Judge Glanville's hurting, man. He's going to have to take a little bit of an extra 4th of July vacation. I'm sure the jury is not upset about getting a little bit of a break. And we'll keep you guys up to date and see what's going to happen with these three recusals. And if Mr. Weinstein is going to get what he wants and get this to another county. Y'all have to let me know what you think. I'm hoping it happens. We'll see.